Hello. Welcome. Well, welcome to my page. If you're new here, my name is Z and I'm the Fairy Medicine Woman. And welcome back if you've been on my page for a while. I'm super excited. I'm going to talk to you about tasting things energetically because it's been on my mind, and Spirit and the ancestors say that it's time to talk about clairgustance. So, clairgustance is really, really interesting in my opinion, and what I've observed from other people, folks I have been teaching, mediums. Clairgustance is actually one of the more rare clairs, and sometimes the hardest to develop because people are not so intuitively and energetically attached to their taste. We are more attached to the way we think. We're more attached to like our eyes to see things, or our third eye to like energetically see things, to hear things. Even though we eat and taste food, we don't energetically connect with it a lot. So being able to flow energy through your taste to be able to read something is a lot harder for most folks. And one of the coolest things about clairgustance is when you are really strong, like when you are a really strong, clear channel for mediumship and for clairsentience, your clairgustance begins to show up and like be a sneak attack, a sneak attack behind you. And what eventually happens is like it becomes so strong that you don't even realize that you're using it most of the time, that you will then begin to channel energy and the taste of things from living and non-living people, because it just opens up a channel, right? Because that's again how all of our clairs work. It's like your ability to be able to merge your energy with another energy, or flow energy to you, or flow your energy over there, and like pick up, right? Like we're just like one big signal of communication. And this might show up in your life, and this will most likely happen with people you have soul contracts with, or are also very strong energetic beings, and you have some sort of attachment to them. You will likely pick up exactly how they're feeling, and it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, maybe you're in an area and you feel like, oh, someone's really anxious, right? Like that's kind of the beginning. But where it gets the strongest is, you know, what would happen to me in the beginning. Some folks that I had soul contracts with and are still soul tribe now, I will know exactly what's going on with them, and it'll manifest into my body like in real time. So, you know, one of the times they were out to dinner and they got really bad, like food poisoning. We were both at dinner at the same time, but in two places across the US. And then all of a sudden I started to feel like I had food poisoning and all these things that I wasn't eating. And I got really nauseous. I needed to go home, but it felt like very different than if you were to have real food poisoning, right? Like you can tell almost the difference between energy flowing to you and then something happening in real life. So you might start to see that happen as well. Like you're very strongly connected to people in this realm and on the other side. And you see it a lot with mediums, especially when they start to say, like, I'm sure some of you have heard, like they'll say like, oh, like I'm getting a really salty taste, or oh, I'm getting like a really sweet taste in my mouth. I used to hear that a lot from another tarot reader on YouTube, Kino Tarot, I think it is, who like will pick up on that stuff, or someone else, I don't quite remember. But they have a very strong like clairgustance, right? They're able to pick up energy in general in multiple places. And then what usually ends up happening is your ancestors, or people who have passed on, right? When we say like non-living, people who have passed on in the other realm, will begin to communicate with you, and you'll start to pick up on things that they crave, they want to eat, like they've eaten before. Like for instance, like my friend and I talk about this all the time. We always know which ancestor it is, and I know which ancestor it is for them because they'll come to me and all of a sudden I'll start eating very specific foods, right? And this will happen also with deities. Like sometimes, like with Oshun, we just did the Oshun video. Sometimes they will come to you and you will start just like wanting a lot of mango. Um, and then you'll find out like they've been trying to communicate with you this whole time, or you know, you're craving peanuts and your grandpa ate a lot of peanuts and you don't eat peanuts. Like it's gonna be like really obvious things, and it'll be so strong that like you do it over and over and over and over again because their energy is there. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna eat like a little thing of peanuts and then it stops for the week. No, like usually if an energy is trying to talk to you, or if you're picking up on something, it's gonna be very intense. And it's gonna last for a good amount of time, sometimes like a couple days, sometimes a week. You know, and even for my other friend, I always know that her energy's around, or we're talking to each other a lot when I start to crave a ton of apples with peanut butter, and I like excessively eat them, and I'm like, okay, that's my homie Maddie. Right? Like, and then I'll like go talk to them and I'm like, maybe slow your roll on the apples. And they laugh, right? So it's, you start to realize that clairs will open when you least expect it. So I would, for yourself, if you're tracking like, are my clairs developing, are my spiritual gifts developing, or you want to be a healer, or you want to who keeps calling me, jeez Louise, leave me alone. Or if you want to be a spiritual person, then I would make sure that you keep a notebook for yourself, and just write down all the instances that you've had this happen. If you're in the middle of a spiritual awakening, make sure you have a journal so that you're writing down in detail what happened that day, even your reflections, right? Because sometimes your reflections will also show you when you're like being really clairvoyant or clairsentient, or you know, like whatever it is. And we always have fun going back into our journals and kind of checking them out. But I just wanted to explain that to you. So I hope that you all, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, so I hope that you all enjoy it. Let me know below in the comments if you have experienced this or where you're at with your clair development. I do teach 2 classes a week on Thursday and on Friday that folks are more than welcome to attend, and you can come ask your spiritual questions. You can submit them ahead of time. I'll like bring you up, we can talk about it, I'll coach you. I'm also an energy reader and a medium and many things, and I use my clairs, so I'll be able to pick up on a bunch of stuff in your life to be able to help you. And a lot of the times we do a lot of deep healing in there because clairs are also attached to your healing. So I'm going to be able to pick up where you're at on your healing journey as well, to kind of allow you to release or give you advice about releasing. And just forewarning, you know, my one of my clients today was like, you know, sometimes it scares me what you know about me. And I'm like, well, it's not really me. It's just like me being able to receive information. They're like, I feel like I can never lie. Not that they ever would, but it was just like a really funny moment. They're like, even if I, you know, talk about I washed my hair, but I really didn't, you would know. I'm like, of course I would know. That's how energy works. So just forewarning, when you do come, it's a very open environment, so I will pick up on things that you definitely will not tell me, but it's all meant for you to be able to develop your clairs. And I just want to make sure that everyone can actually get to this stage to help themselves with their manifestations, to be able to self-heal and give back to the world, make an impact, and create the generational wealth that you're wanting for yourself. And then also everybody who joins, it's like a little surprise. They get a tiny discount to some of my other services that are open as like a thank you for following through. So that is also something that interests you, and you do want to do an in-depth tarot reading and mediumship reading or energy reading, or you do want to do a mentorship with me, or you know, you want to attend other classes that are longer, then I highly recommend that you come to the session and experience it for yourself, and really just allow yourself to evolve your clairs in whatever pace that they're ready to be evolved in, so that you can really experience life. Like, we're so disconnected a lot of the times, but I just invite you to come have fun because it's amazing, and the folks there are just wild, and it's so cool to see their gifts like evolve so freaking fast. And people just talking about, oh, I was able to like communicate to them just like you told me to, and now I know exactly who it is, or now I know what energy it is, or I've been working with like Arcturians, like just all sorts of stuff. It's been like the like most fun. So if you love like tapping into your energy and being a part of the collective, and you're, you know, ascending, and you just want a space to come, like you could come and you don't even have to ask questions, you could just take notes. It's a lot of information. I always invite people to bring their notebooks, come cozy, bring your tea, like, and we just start digging in. And you don't have a question, or you have a question at the end, I will do my best to get to you. But it's just a fun place for us to exist as folks who are really gifted and not feel like people are trying to gaslight us. So that space is for you. I welcome you all there. I am sending you lots of love, lots of hugs. Again, let me know below how this resonated for you, and let me know in the community as well on YouTube. There is a poll about anything else you want to learn. So if you missed that post, go look for it, write it down. I read through everything as much as I can and gather as much feedback. So if you have topics, please let me know. I'm the type of content creator to help you and share what you're wanting. So I'm sending you, again, lots of love. This is a long goodbye. Also, one last thing. Also, it is a full moon in Cancer. So if any of you have been experiencing really interesting communication with people around you, if you are feeling like you've been a little bit more triggered than usual, or like your manifestations are coming in, but you're feeling like you got to put in a little more extra oomph, or like you have to be a little more organized, or feel like you're calling in a lot more trust right now. Like, trust has been a really big theme for this moon. Know that it is a part of the path. It is a part of what you are calling in terms of your abundance, your prosperity. Some of you are like stepping into fame as well, and you're starting to see a lot of that in your 3D. I know some of my clients are really stepping into it big time right now, and it's just really beautiful to witness. So allow yourself to move through these Cancer emotions and that watery vibe, and just take care of yourself today. Read a book, journal, do whatever feels like self-care to you. Like, this moon is all about self-care, and it's like doubly strong because it's Monday, and Monday is Moon Day. So it's a really beautiful time for you to also script out what you are wanting for yourself, again, since we are in the middle of a very, very, very big portal in January. So everything that you script, that you put out into the universe, that you trust and surrender to, will manifest very quickly. And many of you are going to start traveling as well. So I know, even for myself, my bag is literally packed at my feet right now. So just know that your new beginning has already begun, right? So now it's you just continuing that manifestation energy into the rest of the year, and keeping your momentum, and staying in that energy of elevation, of enlightenment, of bliss, of possibilities, and expanding on your clairs. Your clairs are gonna help you fly through like all your manifestations and call in stuff so quickly, which is why I love teaching it to people. So again, if you have questions, I will see you there. I'm seriously leaving this time. If you have questions, let me know. Come join the group. It is open to you, and I will talk to you all soon.